AFTV, Mo, 1-0 to the Arsenal. What did you make of the game?
Well, listen, far from vintage, man, but exactly what we needed. It's just, after that Chelsea game, I was saying that no pressure should come off. We have to perform. We have to consolidate that win against a big club, in a tough team to play against, with a team who generally, in normal times, you'd expect to beat. And we did that today. So I don't care how bad it was.
You say we'd expect to beat. We haven't beaten Brighton since they've come up into the Premier League. Do you know that? We have not 104 away.
Fair enough, but I'm saying in normal times. Listen, every time we haven't beaten them in the league, I expect to go and beat them. Given the players that we have and the caliber of the squad that we have compared to theirs. And we can kind of discuss that, but the odds would always reflect that as well. And people who know football would know that the better set of players are in Arsenal's. So look, for me, I'm very, very glad that we just managed to grind it out today. And what I'm especially happy about today, because I've said to you in the past many, many times that Mikel Arteta has made wrong decisions and it's cost us. Today, he made the right decisions. Aubameyang for Lacazette, fair enough. I don't mind that change. And then the rest of the squad was identical. And that's exactly what I wanted to see. And then on top of that, not only did he make the right decision, but when it came to fixing what was a very, very poor first half performance and, really getting stuck into the team, he must have done that because the team that came out in the second half was much improved. And that's where Mikel Arteta earned his money today and, showed his worth. And then just to complete the hat-trick for Mikel Arteta today, the substitution. So firstly, the lineup was good. The team talk at halftime must have been good. And then Lacazette comes on 20 odd seconds later.
21 seconds.
Yeah, man. So I'm very happy for Mikel Arteta today. And, as I said, maybe the decision that has created the last two victories was actually out of his hands as much as he wants to try and take credit from it. It might have been a COVID-induced decision, but I'm very, very glad that that's happened and he's benefiting from that and hopefully it will open his eyes.
If the game coming up at the weekend, West Brom, Willian makes a call. Yeah, I'm fit. And I'm ready to go, boss.
Yeah.
Do you think he would bring him back in? Because those youngsters have stepped up. I mean, Saka again today, the difference. Smith Rowe again, another good performance. Not as great by Martinelli, a bit quieter by him today, but still, he was involved. He still had a chance because we've seen a lot of games with Willian. He's just not been involved.
And that's the thing, Robbie. In the last game, I said to you, I don't want him to just apply this improvement in performance to the specific youngsters that were out. He should extrapolate that and realise that a Reece Nelson, if you show him a bit of faith, will probably give you more than a Willian, for example. So what I am fearful of is that Martinelli didn't look the same today. And I fear that he might think, look, let's take him out for one game. Obviously, he hasn't played a lot of football. So it makes sense in a way if he did that. But it's about who comes in for him. Or if we look at Martinelli, he hasn't completed 90 minutes in either of these two games. He's come off and someone's come on for him. So the question could be either who comes in for Martinelli or who's subbed on for Martinelli. That should be Reece Nelson if he decides to make that change. I think we have to accept that there's a level of information the manager has that we don't have based on how a player's feeling and, any knocks they might have had or their fitness levels or whatever. So if he does take Martinelli out, I'm not going to hit the ceiling and get angry. I'll trust that it's, for a good reason. But if it's for Willian, then I'll hit the ceiling. Then I'll be livid because other players have shown that, they can come in and do a job and he simply shouldn't be back in the team.
Now, listen, he's sort of safely negotiated the last couple of games, gets him through now after the game, he's got another game at the weekend, but we'll be into the January transfer window. What do you think in this transfer window? And we all know that January is a bit of a limited transfer window because you can't always get the players you want. But what does he need? What does he need immediately to start turning around fortunes or continue to turn around fortunes?
I feel like Emile Smith-Rowe has done really, really well in both of the games in that number 10 role. And I don't think that's a coincidence. We've started playing a lot better when we've got a natural number 10 in there. So can we rely on Emile Smith-Rowe for all of the games remaining this season in the number 10 role? Because he's the only person so far this season that's looked good in there. I don't think we can. I love him, but I don't think that we can put that burden on him and burn him out to that extent. So I think we do need a number 10. And I personally think for two reasons it should be a loan deal rather than a permanent deal. The first one is that if I was, Stan or any of the board, Arteta's been very choppy. The last two games doesn't change that. And I wouldn't be willing to, let's say, back him with £50 million on a player that another manager might not fancy. So I'd much rather do a loan with an option to buy. And in that way, if it doesn't go right for Arteta, another manager can kind of take that option. And also for the fact that you don't get very good value in the transfer window. So there'll be a lot of players whose contracts are coming up. Who knows? We could even get Messi on a free. So, but that's what I'll be doing. But for me, the cam is a very, very important one. And then also, we are one injury away from real difficult times, because if Leno gets injured, from what we've seen of Runnison, and listen, don't get me wrong, we haven't seen enough of him to really make a conclusion, but I think we've seen enough of him to know that actually, ultimately it would be a failing on the manager's part, seeing what we've seen, if Leno gets injured and then we suffer because we've got Runnison in goal. And for that reason, I'd be looking to get someone else. And that doesn't have to spell the end of Runnison's career. We could get an established, experienced goalkeeper that's happy to sit on the bench. Runnison can, maybe go on loan, or maybe he can, be third choice and then come back stronger in 1 or 2 seasons' time, whatever that might be. But that's another thing that I'll be looking at, because if Leno gets injured, I'm nervous.
Yeah, Leno today, I don't know if you saw that little bit of skill he did. Yeah. I mean, it looked great, at the time, man. I was like, no. You know what I mean? It looked great. I mean, he has looked very good recently. We haven't spoken enough about him recently, but he has playing well.
Yeah, and it's funny is because I think he has been all right. He has been fairly good. There's very rarely a time where I'm kind of saying, oh, that's completely Leno's fault. There might have been a couple, but Martinez, unfortunately, this narrative will always carry on this season. Martinez has been so good that a lot of people are taking that to slate Leno. But listen, I think Leno, I do think we made
in the last game, man.
Exactly. Yeah, I think we made the right choice. Given the information we had on the two keepers, we might be proved to be incorrect about that, but I can understand why they made that decision. And yeah, I'm very happy with him. And going on to other players that I'm very happy with, Pablo Mari and Rob Holding today, I thought both of them were really, really good. I'm really, really happy with them. And Bukayo Saka, again, that moment of quality for the goal and just his all-round play, I'm just very happy with that. The only thing that frustrated me about him today was the set-piece delivery. I thought it was really, really poor. Every time, he had done it about 2 or 3 times, and I thought, for God's sake, let Smith Rowe take this one. But we seemed to favour the in-swinger rather than the out-swinger against Brighton today. That must have been a tactical thing. But other than that, he was brilliant. And very happy for Lacazette as well, because that's 3 and 3 now, if I'm not mistaken.
3 and 3, yep.
And brilliant finish. Absolutely perfect finish. So, yeah, happy that he's firing again.
All right, well, listen, Mo, Happy New Year to you.
You too, Robbie.
And let's hope we've turned a corner, mate.
Let's hope so. And hopefully you recover, because that cough isn't sounding too pretty.
It is better than it was, trust me.
Yeah, no doubt.
Robbie here from AFTV. We just got to say a big thank you to everybody who follows us across our various channels. Over 1 million followers on YouTube. Don't forget, you can now also catch us on Reddit. We're on Reddit, so get involved with us on Reddit and also on TikTok. Keep it AFTV, baby, right here.